Alright friends, so we are here to continue our learning with division, this time with Eureka Grade 5 Module 2 Lesson 25, working with that lesson target of dividing decimals and really explicitly connecting it to the standard algorithm. Of course, make sure that you're pausing and rewinding as you need, so that way you can have appropriate understanding and have enough time to work out the problems with me, because you should be working out the problems with me. So again, make sure that you have something to write on and write with. Alright, let's step right in. So I have two problems right here. We're going to solve both with the standard algorithm to kind of see how very similar it is when we divide integers and decimals. We're just working with different place values. All right, so I have 40 divided by 2. All right, I have 4 tens divided by 2. I can put 2 tens in each group. I'm lining up those place values. That means I would have used up 4 tens, because 2 times 2 is 4. I have 0 tens left over. I'm not done, because I have to work through all of my place values, okay? So now I have to move to my ones. How many total ones do I have? Well, I have 0 tens and 0 ones, so that means I have 0. 0 divided by 2, that's going to give me 0, which means that I've used up 0, which means I have a remainder of 0. Okay, so now I'm done. 40 divided by 2 is 20. All right, now let's go ahead and look at something slightly different, and let's go ahead and look at this 4 divided by 20. Okay. All right, so when I'm looking at this 4 divided by 20, I'm thinking about this. I'm sorry, let me back up. So I have 4 ones divided into 20 groups. I can't get an integer for that. So now what I want to do is I want to think about this 4 as 40 tenths. I know that those are equivalent. So now I'm working with how many times does 20 go into 40? Well, it goes into it 2 times. Now, friends, the reason I'm putting this 2 above the 0 is because I'm working with tenths, right? This is 40 tenths divided by 20. So I need to make sure that I'm showing that it's 2 tenths, hence the 2 in my tenths place. 20 times 2 tenths would give me 40 tenths, and I have 0 left over, so this quotient would be 2 tenths. All right, let's go ahead and start doing one together. All right, so let's work this one out together. All right, so I have, let me do it in blue again. So I have 6 and 3 tenths divided by 70. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our standard algorithm. I have my dividend there, and then my divisor here. Okay, so let's work through it just like we always have. All right, I have 6 ones into 70 groups. That's not going to give me an integer. I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 up there just to keep my place value. And I'm going to carry up that decimal as well, again, just to keep my place value, because place value is so important. All right, so now I'm at 63 tenths, okay, because I had 6 ones and 3 tenths, and that's now working with 63 tenths. I'm working with this 63. I'm in my tenths place. Okay, 63 divided by 70. Still not going to get a whole number integer, so 0 again, keeping that place value. What am I going to do? Well, I can decompose, just like we've been doing, into the next smallest place value. The next smallest place value is hundredths. How would I get there? Well, I can use my identity property of multiplication that we learned about last year. 10 times 10 is 100. 63 times 10 is 630. So now I can work with 630 hundredths. This ties right back into Module 1, where we can quote-unquote add that 0. We're changing the representation, not the value. Okay, so now I have 630 hundredths divided by 70. I know 63 divided by 7 is 9. And they both have a 0, so it's going to be 9 hundredths. 70 times 9 hundredths is 630 hundredths. And I don't have a remainder. However, it's so important that we remember that this is 9 hundredths, not 9 or not 9 tenths. So that's why lining up those place values and keeping that 0 is so important. All right, let's go ahead and move to this next one. I want you to go ahead and pause, work this one out, and then come back and we'll go over it. All right, so hopefully your standard algorithm looks something like this. I can't divide 6 ones into 700 groups. I can't divide 63 tenths into 700 groups and get an integer. I can't divide 630 hundredths into 700 groups and get an integer. So I'm having to go into the thousandths place. 630 thousandths divided by 700, well, that's going to be 9 again. We can think about it as 630 thousandths divided by 700. Remember, I know that 63 divided by 7 is 9. They both have 2 zeros. This is a review from earlier. All right, so that gives me 63 hundred thousandths. None left over, so my quotient is 9 thousandths. All right, let's take it one more step, and then we'll go ahead and move into a little bit of independent practice. Okay, so let's look at this one. If I have 12 and 6/10 divided by 3. All right, go ahead and work this one out with me. So I have 12 and 6/10 divided by 3. All right, so I'm going to solve it just like I would always solve it with long division. 110 divided into 3 groups, it's not going to get me an integer, so let's go ahead and decompose. I'm going to think about it as 12 ones, because I have 110, 2 ones, 12 ones. 12 divided by 3. Okay, I know that's going to be 4. So I go 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, I've used up all 12. I don't have any left over. Now I'm working with, I have to keep on going until I've used up all my place values. So working with tenths now. I have 0 ones and 6/10. That means I have 6/10. Again, I am drawing or putting that decimal right there so that way I remember. Remember that I'm working with this place value. I'm not working with a whole number right now. I repeat my process. 6/10 divided into 3 groups. It's going to be 2 in each group. That's going to use up all 6 with none left over. All 10ths, excuse me. So my quotient is 4 and 2/10. The exact same thing we've been doing with integers. We're just making sure to note that decimal. All right, let's do one more round of practice before you move to your assignment. Go ahead and pause and take a little look at these, and then we'll go over them together. All right, so we are back. I have put the first 2 up here. Go ahead and pause and look over your work, do your analysis. Of course, remember that you can always reach out to me during our live groups or through scheduling a meeting with me or during Canvas, in Canvas inbox. But go ahead and take a moment to look over those. All right, let's go ahead and go over this last one together. All right, so I would have 36 and 8/10. I'm dividing it by 4. All right, start with my 3 10s. 3 10s divided by 4, it's not going to give me a whole number integer. So let's decompose. 3 10s and 6 ones. I'm working now with 36 ones. 36 divided by 4, that's going to give me 9. Because 9 times 4 is 36. Okay, I've used it all up. Now, I'm not done yet. I still have more of my total. So as we're moving down, I'm going to place that decimal because I know I'm moving into my tenths. All right, I'm decomposing into tenths. I have 0 ones and 8/10 for a total of 8/10. 8 divided by 4, that's going to give me 2 because I can go 4, 8. Use up all 8, and again, I don't have a remainder. So my quotient would be 9 and 2/10. All right, friends. Go ahead and make sure that you've paused, rewound, and rewatched as you need to make sure that you have appropriate understanding. Remember that you can reach out to me and go ahead and move on to your problem set. Remember to show all of your work as you'll have to turn in a picture of it for credit.